Yeah, should we move on to our next chat then?
Yeah.
Sir
The
Tarantino, number
dive.
3.
Big day
I
for
mean,
you, man.
Yeah, man, this made a mental effort maybe like 10 years ago to be like, I watched a lot of Tarantino movies, but I'm not watching Jackie Brown because I'm going to save that one for later. Literally, I don't know why, but and last
Golden
week was the
Goose.
week. So, yeah,
And
it was nice. It's a very good movie. I like the movie a lot. I think it's one that I'm going to rewatch, I like most of
Yeah.
Tarantino's movies. I'm going to rewatch it and kind of see how it grows on me over time. I don't know. This one came with the stigma. A lot of people thinking it's one of Tarantino's weaker movies, and
Yeah, I'm surprised by that because I didn't think it was that weak, and I don't know, it was like toned down, but still like I don't know, the writing was still fantastic. Pam Grier, I mean,
yeah.
Jackie Brown as a character was like a super interesting character throughout the whole movie.
Mhm. For sure.
So yeah,
I think the gut reaction coming off of like Pulp Fiction in the 90s, I can understand maybe why at that time it was like, well, it wasn't Pulp Fiction, like that, because you only have 3 movies to really go on at that point too. So it's like,
yeah,
they're not as good. It's not as good, but I don't know. I don't think it's my favorite of his. I think it's maybe in the lower threshold of his movies, but that doesn't say that this is a bad movie. I think it's more just that all of his other movies are that much better, in my opinion. But
I think that's a good way of putting it.
yeah, what do
Yeah.
you think, Joe? About like, would you?
I mean, like, I don't know. I think I wanted to like it more than I think I did. Because like I don't know. I think that I don't know. I have my gripes with it, but like overall, I think it was like pretty solid. And I think, like you said, I mean, yeah, it's just because Quentin Tarantino has like so many other fucking banger movies that like this kind of probably gets lost. But like also, so I guess like first, I kind of didn't really understand why you would cast like Robert De Niro for that part. I guess like I feel like he was kind of underutilized. Like you could have just thrown some other random dude in there, and like I don't know, I thought that was just kind of weird.
he fell flat.
And then
yeah.
like also we talked about like in Reservoir Dogs, I think we talked about like the use of the N-word, and like holy fuck, like in this movie, like to some degree I think it's okay, but like dude, I don't know. I think it kind of was overboard. Like I mean, dude, like I don't know. I guess like that's another thing. I guess like I also just thought there were some like scenes or shots that I felt like went on just like way too long. I watched it like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't write them down in particular, but like it came up at least 3 times. I wish I remembered which ones because I would reference it.
You were just like ready for the next scene, or you just were like done with it, and you like thought it was.
It was just like zoomed in on like a person doing something for like just way too long. I thought, like, I don't know, maybe it's just like my opinion, but I felt like it could have just like, you get the point. So like, why are you carrying on the shot? Or like I felt like some scenes, maybe I just like was too out of it, but I felt like for instance when they meet up at the mall, when Jackie's there, and I can't remember the other dude's name, the dude with the Bonds dude, and like the cops are not there. It's just like he went to go see a movie, and then they just like walked by each other and met up. I guess I kind of didn't really understand like that scene in particular. I think there were a couple other ones. That's just the first one that I thought of. I didn't really get like the point. Like I felt like that kind of could have been cut, but like at the end, like Sam Jackson's character does see that they're like both together, and I feel like that kind of made the connection for him later on that like they're both involved. But ultimately, I don't know. I felt like there could have just been some cuts. Really, I don't know.
That's fair.
But overall, I mean, I don't know. I like Jackie Brown's character. I liked her a lot. And like the Bonds dude, I kind of just liked how he acted. He's just like a super chill dude.
Yeah, very authentic. Like he came off very authentic.
Yeah. Like I thought Michael Keaton did a pretty good job. I don't know. I feel like he was like just like some scummy agent dude, basically. But like I don't know. He kind of like.
Dude, the more I see of Michael Keaton, because I haven't seen like too much of his stuff, especially like older stuff, the more I'm like, dude, this guy, he's got something.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I loved his leather jacket that just squeaked every movement he made.
What did you think about this one, Alex? Watching it back.
Yeah, so I watch a lot of. I have more opportunities now to watch movies because I watch one in the
Same.
airport and then one on the plane. So I just download them on my phone and watch them. So it's kind of nice that I have scheduled time. So I got the opportunity to watch this twice, the last week. But I did watch it a while ago, and I thought, oh, this is in the lower threshold. But after the second rewatch, and then the third, it made me rearrange my whole Tarantino rankings. I don't, it's like it's a perfect film. I mean, it's great. I think the characters are some of the smartest characters he's written because they're all like competing to see who's the smartest, and it's just one slip up, and that's who gets got in the end. And it's just Ordell's character is super smart, super sinister, and Samuel Jackson, I think it's his best performance. Pam Grier, her character, she's a badass, but she's smart, but she doesn't play it off to where it's annoying, where she's acting better than everybody. So it's just like
she's like in the know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a perfect character. That and how she reacts and acts to situations and adapts to things without, being, like I said, annoying or over the top. And then Bond's boy, he was great in it too. And like you would think, oh, this dude is old and looks like a leather mitt that's been out in the sun too long. How does this work with Jackie Brown? But like the immediate connection he feels as she's walking out, it just kind of like sold it for me too. I'm like, I can see it,
Yeah, I
like he
moment.
just and then he hangs out with her for the night and gets her a drink, and then he sees that she takes his gun, but he's like cool with it because he understands, and he cares for her immediately. And then they kind of just work it out together. He realizes he's got his way, she's got her way. By the end of the film, it's just great. I thought it was very good, very smart story, well paced. All the characters were super smart on top of their fucking game.
Yeah,
very good.
I thought on the smart note, they're also like really cool characters. I mean, yes, I guess like a Bonds dude isn't very cool, but like the way he's operating with
trying to say
the underbelly.
You don't like my Bonds dude?
Is your Bond? Is he cool? Is he tight? You want to hang out with that guy?
I liked him. Yeah.
Right, well, fuck.
Big baseball dad energy.
I can talk to that guy.
Hell yeah. But just like making your characters like watchable is Tarantino. One of Tarantino's like best skills, I think, is like making the characters people that are smart and cool and fucking suave and like in their element in their own way, and that was a huge highlight for me. I think the Sam Jackson and Max, I forget it's Robert Forster.
Robert Forster.
Yeah. When they're sitting across the desk in the Bond's office, those were some of my favorite scenes, honestly, with just those two facing off.
Where can I put my ash?
Yeah. Immediately calls him out on like not washing his hands, and that just kind of like sets like the tone of like their communication, and I think that those scenes, like that's where I made the note of like these guys are just cool and they're fucking, I just want to watch these guys, like, and that was solid. And Pam Grier too, she's Tarantino, I mean, he writes really strong female characters, some of the likes of which like other writers can't do, and I'll say that. And they're definitely fleshed out and like raw in ways that are I enjoy watching his female characters a lot. So
definitely, sure. That's what I really liked about this the second and third watch through, because the second watch through I put it at like 4.5, and I was like, and I kept thinking I'm like, I think this is a perfect movie. I think I just need to watch it again. So that's when I rewatched it. I'm like, Pam Grier's character is just so good, and like you said, all these characters are so cool. You just kind of want to hang out with them. You're just like, even Ordell and fucking Robert De Niro's character, Robert De Niro playing a stupid fuck the whole time, and it's just like, I don't know, his character's still kind of enjoyable. I guess. I mean, he has his purposes, and he's just the dumb fuck, and that's Ordell's downfall, is working with the dumb fucks. So.
See, I feel like he could have been interchanged. Oh yeah, dude! Oh my god, yeah.
That scene was pretty shocking.
I love those scenes. Yeah, that like talk about smart characters. Like when someone's telling you to get into a trunk, it's like, dude, come on, man. Yeah.
I like how, I mean, it was kind of blatant in this one, but that's his signature shot is the trunk shot, and he's like literally commenting about getting into the trunk in this one, where it's like very very open with
All
like
I
his
need you to
shot.
do is pop out and wreck this motherfucker.
It just pulls around like into the little like fucking shitty parking lot, hits like a shit ton of hills, and then shoots him. Just like, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, that was good.
That was great.
And the
Yeah.
scene with the reveal of Pam Grier, Jackie Brown having the gun, I thought that scene was like so explosive with Sam Jackson showing up, and like she pulls a gun on him, immediately flips like his fucking attitude completely, has to like go into like the back burner, and like that was a fantastic scene. And I kind of agree, this is one of Sam Jackson's best roles, I'd say, but it also just made me write down the note of like, I think Sam Jackson might be like one of the best actors alive, or like one of the, I don't know, man. He just can hold attention and like energy in a scene in a way that like you kind of just like you kind of take it for granted, honestly, with him, where it's like, Sam Jackson's just doing his shit. But it's like that man is so on top of the moment and everything he does that it's just like so compelling. So
definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Man held it down in the MCU for a while. I mean,
he's literally kind of like,
do it all.
Not anymore. I mean, shit.
I haven't seen Secret Wars.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know you mentioned shots that lingered too long and stuff, but actually one of my second and first rewatch of my rewatches here, I kind of just like appreciated, like there's a shot in Ordell's apartment where you just see, I forget the woman's name, but it's like her leg, and it's just Robert De Niro sitting on the couch, hitting the bong, and it's just her leg, and I'm like, this is such a pleasing shot. I don't know, Tarantino can make just the most ordinary shit just so interesting to just look at. And then you get to the scene where it's him and De Niro in the car, and they're trying to figure out who took the money. Any normal writer, director, I would think, would just be like, oh, the character knows it's Jackie Brown, but like he sits there and lets Sam Jackson like think it out, and it just lingers on that shot and that pull in, and I'm just like, this is good shit right here. So
that really made the Ordell character seem like a powerhouse. Like he's like reactive in that moment, and he has so many different things to consider, and then he like fights through it all, and like you're there that whole time. I love that moment. And similarly, the way he like kills De Niro is like shot well too.
It used to be beautiful.
Yeah. And you don't see the gun go off. You just see like the blood splatter from the back. Like that's pretty solid.
So shocking too. It just comes out of nowhere. Just bang.
And
so good.
I didn't really feel it when I was watching it, but I kind of get what you're saying, Joe, where De Niro maybe, because right when I saw him, I was like instantly overjoyed that De Niro was in a Tarantino movie. That it was like a treat for me to be like, oh, holy fuck, there's like a nugget of actor Tarantino history that I haven't like found. And I think the character is pretty solid, and he plays it very like low key and out of it, but when you say like, I pictured somebody else doing that, and I think somebody else could have done that, so like.
That's like exactly what I thought too. Yeah. Because like I was thinking, I didn't really look it up. But I mean, like he started doing shit, getting popular in like the 80s, right? Or late 80s. Yeah. So I mean, like at this point, like when this came out, I mean, like he was already pretty well known, right? I mean, so I mean, that's kind of why I was like, I don't know. I feel like you kind of could have got somebody else for that part. But yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, he did it fine. I mean, I don't know.
But at the same time, I mean, it lets people like Pam Grier and Robert Forster kind of have time to breathe, it's for a change. It's not a huge star in the main role. It's obviously there's Sam Jackson, but that's just a Tarantino trope at this point. But like, I don't know, it gave Pam Grier's character and Robert Forster, because he wanted to play Robert Forster. That's what he auditioned for. But Tarantino wanted him to play this because he wrote the part for Pam Grier and for Robert Forster, and he told basically Robert Forster that he's going to do it, whether or not he likes it. So, nice. And so I don't know. I didn't mind it. I liked that it let the other characters breathe, and it wasn't just like, oh shit, it's a Robert De Niro movie. That's
true. Yeah, because I was thinking like if they, I don't know, I wanted like a little more, I don't know, like goofiness or like silliness out of him or something, which there was like a little bit with like how awkward and kind of out of it he is. But no, that's a good point, because I think it did like lend to his character, and by the end of his character's end, he's kind of got to, knowing where he ends up,
He's just sloppy and kind of dumb. Like,
Yeah,
and
not really institutionalized, not really.
I think as far as like his acting career goes, this is probably a role that like is not the antithesis to what he can do, but it's very outside of what he was probably doing before this. So
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
like it's like almost a bait and switch with this movie that he's trying to do with Robert De Niro, where it's like you want Raging Bull, but you're gonna get him doing nothing and fucking dying at the end.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know.
So weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of get both. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I just like enjoyed De Niro's performance. So
It was good. I mean, what he did, I mean, it was good. What he gave to the characters when him and I can't remember the girl's name. And I watched it twice last week. But
it starts with an M.
yeah, when they're just hanging out and it's like the comedic timing between the two of them when they're looking at this picture in Japan and she's like, "Want to fuck?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And then
3 minutes later. Yeah. I thought the buildup of that scene was great because you're just like waiting for them to kind of like get to that shit. And then the next scene instantly like alleviates all that in such a like great way where it's like, he's basically just like, yeah, I left you alone so you probably haven't fucked in a while, so I kind of like tossed you a bone there. And then De Niro's like he like smiles and like realizes the situation he was put in, and it just like levels out in the bar or whatever. And I just love that scene too after that.
Yeah, that's good.
And then the relationship between him and her kind of changed now that he's had his post nut and he's starting to realize like, man, this person is actually good for nothing. And then he's remembers I'm loyal to Ordell, not just the pussy, so
yeah. And he's yeah, but like he's not. That's what I love about like the line, I guess it used to be beautiful, is like I kind of imagine him as like a Vincent Vega-esque character back in the day where he's like, I guess he wasn't really on it either, he was literally taking a shit and died, but like he had it, he was on it, and now he's like out of jail smoking weed and just like flat and not like, I don't know. So his end of the journey was like justified, I guess. But
I don't know. I ended up, because after I watched Speed, I was like, damn, my level of enjoyment, like where they're so different. I don't know. I ended up with 4 stars on Speed, and I was like, this could be 4 stars, could be 4.5. Well, not 4.5, 4.5 for this one though, because I think it is. I think upon rewatch, Alex, I think I'll be with you where I'll just enjoy it that much more.
Rewatch, at least for me, was a great payoff. I'm glad I did it a couple times, and I want to rewatch it again just because it's so well paced. I mean, why not? 2.5 hours fly the fuck by.
Yeah, I did not feel that.
Yeah, I thought it was very well paced, leading up to like the collisions of all the storylines in the mall. That was really fun. I mean, that was like classic Tarantino like storytelling, out of order, non-linear or whatever. But I kind of felt like it should have wrapped after that a little sooner. Felt that like the last half hour, while it needed it, because you had to get like Pam Grier and Robert Forster back together to like have their send off after they win and have to like talk to the cops and get out of the situation now. It just didn't really like serve the overall pace to me at the end, where it was like build up, storyline, build up, and then it's like, now we got 30 more minutes, I don't know.
I could see like the walk into the sun moment for this movie for sure, like where they board a flight with Pam's something, and that's that, like they made it out with it kind of thing.
I mean, it's kind of the end you get. Like, I like the denouement or whatever, that she played him enough, but still was like okay to him enough that it's like we both won. I guess it's just like it took too long to get there. It just took too many scenes or too many like closing out of the story moments to pack a huge Tarantino-esque ending punch, like, because the punch is like the collision, and then it's like, where do the characters fall, like. But really, really smart filmmaking by Tarantino. I enjoy the shot, the opening shot with just Jackie Brown on the conveyor, with like the multicolored wall behind her. And then later in the film, she's on the conveyor and it's just a blue wall behind her, and it's like blending with her her outfit for the airport or whatever. Just like hinting that she's like one with the universe, hinting she's like because that's right before she's about to go do all the shit, like the drop and all this shit. So like Just
Just feeling herself.
yeah, smart colorization, just to be like, she was here and now she's here. She's like with it now, you know. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
Yeet.
Film auteur Tarantino.
Never disappoints.
Yeah, I guess
Never.
also I did feel like a little bit of like Pulp Fiction energy like parlayed over into this project somewhat. Because like I guess I mean just like the 90s, I was like wondering like, because this movie's really good and I think some people would consider it in top threshold of Tarantino, but I question like, is it because classic Tarantino is better, or is it because like his like later revenge driven like focused noir-esque, or not noir but like genre-esque like films, I think they pack way more, and I like them more. But like I see the value of like his 90s shit where it's like outside of that and it's like only him just telling stories in like LA kind of, you know, and like
it's like this was his stamp in pop culture, and then he moved on to what he's always loved, which was genre movies.
Right. So it's kind of like the last,
and that's where he's having the
vestige of
most
it.
fun too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you start with
Nerd
next
out.
Kill Bill, and he's having a fucking blast.
He's
You know,
he's going crazy, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Damn,
So,
I'm hyped
and then
for
from
those
that point on, it's I mean,
So
I
like,
would even say Hollywood's still him having fun.
yeah. So I
But-
guess like,
Oh,
would
yeah.
you say
Oh, yeah.
like, I don't know. I guess it's like, is this better than his later shit, or is this like?
See, that's what's tough about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess we'll
'Cause
find out when we get there, right?
Yeah, right.
Like-
I don't know,
like
man.
I
It's like,
said,
yeah.
no, if I could have my top 10, 9 of them would be Tarantino's movies. So I don't know. It's hard for me to be like, are these better? Which, I mean, obviously I have them in my favorite order. But who knows? Maybe all these watch throughs, it'll stir up the pot a little. I mean, Jackie Brown already did. I mean, it came through and made a sharp turn. So
Oh, for sure to shake it up a little bit.
I don't know. That's tough. It's definitely you could see the phases he's going through. Like obviously now with Hollywood, and then his final movie being The Film Critic, I think that'll be less revenge driven and more
Almost like Once
his
Upon a
view
Time.
on what his kind of fantasy and what he loves about Hollywood type situation, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess like it's whatever flavor you really like, because I don't know, it's hard to choose because I love like the open worldness of these early films, but I really love the harnessed focused like visions of his later films. So it's like
definitely.
That's tough. I wonder if like that'll be in our rankings at the end, if that'll be like a divider, or if there'll be like a mix, you know, of like those older ones with those later ones.
Yeah.
Kind of interested to see that a little bit.
Yeah, any other final comments on
that ranking's
Jackie
gonna
Brown?
be hard.
Yeah, it is gonna be kind of difficult. Yeah.
So what'd you guys rate it? I know no, you said 4.5. Man.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna end on 4, but I don't see myself having an issue going to 4.5 on a rewatch. I think I'll probably easily be able to do that. So
Yeah, I'm
Joe?
pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I'm at 4, but like I think rewatching this, I feel like it'll only improve. I don't know.
It really helps get the storylines straightened out too. Because I know when I first watched it, it was like that was the one down thing was where I was like trying to keep up with what was happening. But I was young back then, young and unwise,
couldn't follow
young and stupid me.
Uncultured.
But yeah, no, definitely the rewatches pay off.
I feel like that's how I've kind of felt on all of these 3 movies so far. Like I feel like a rewatch could pay off for all of them.
Yeah.
See,
I
guess I didn't feel it as much with Reservoir Dogs, but definitely with Pulp Fiction in this one, I feel like a rewatch would definitely improve it. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just like little details I feel like you could pick out more easily or something, or just like I don't know, just overall just like improve the story. You just have a better like view of what's going on, you know?
For sure.
The characters are so good that it's like you'll find new things to like love or hate about them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to my mom about Tarantino's movies, and I was like, "Yeah, he's working on his last film." She's like, "Oh, are you pretty sad?" I'm like, "I don't know. I mean, I'm sad, but at the same time, it's like all his movies are so rewatchable that it's just kind of timeless, and I'll always go back to watch them, and they always feel brand new." So
yeah, definitely entertaining every watch, and all of his movies are like they don't like get old, I'd say. So that's nice.
Yeah,
I don't know if he can't stop at 10, man. He's gonna go past it. He's gonna write
see.
Tenet.
Wait, I
and-
thought
I feel
so. Like I don't know. I thought when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out, I thought that was supposed to be his last movie. Was that not true?
it's
That
9.
was number 9.
Gotcha. Okay. So it was always at 10. Like it was always like.
That's
Okay,
That's what he's
gotcha.
always said.
Yeah.
10 movies and he's done.
Yeah, I think since like Kill Bill, he's had this plan, but plans
Yeah.
change over the years, man. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But
I feel like
if we're
he's like
being
an addict
fair, Kill
the
Bill was
game.
supposed to be one movie. It was supposed to be the whole bloody affair.
He
so
claims
I
it.
mean, come on.
Interesting. So it could be 11 if you count Kill
He
Bill as
considers it
basically like
though,
one.
doesn't he?
right.
I think that's 2. I mean, he considers it 1, but I think it's counted as 2 in his filmography with Death Proof.
I thought it was just 1.
Because
But man, I don't know. We'll have to add them all up again.
Interesting.
speaking of, you might be right actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Speaking of Kill Bill, do we want to watch 1 and 2 together for our next one, or do you want to watch 1?
I feel like we should just do both, right? I mean,
I agree. That's
I'm
how it was
down.
meant to be. That's what God
Yeah.
would have wanted.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So,
down.
I'm
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And
Cool.
I know me and Alex have seen Kill Bill. Have both of you guys seen Kill Bill or no?
Yeah, I've
Seen
seen Kill
Kill-
Bill.
Okay.
I'm
Really,
not.
I think the only ones out of Quentin Tarantino's movies that I haven't seen were Jackie Brown and whatever the one you just mentioned was.
Death Proof.
Yeah, Death Proof. I haven't seen that either.
Same.
With
But
Death
I
Proof,
think I've
we
seen the
should
rest.
I think we should watch Planet Terror with Death Proof personally too. I just think it's just a fun time.
Yeah, I'll probably.
Like
go
wine
with
and steak.
Wait,
and
what
wine?
is Planet Terror?
It's
It's the
supposed to be like
Grindhouse
a
double feature.
Yeah.
So like, is it more Quentin Tarantino shit?
It's
Robert
Robert
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, I'm down. I'm down to watch it. Yeah, fuck it.
Hell yeah,
Hell
you gotta
yeah.
get that
It's
experience.
a fun. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good ride.